I know it's hard to understand what I'm about ready to tell you, but Jesus Christ took my heart in his hand, and he held my heart, and with his other hand, he pulled a plug on the bottom of my heart.
Welcome to Cajun Miracles. My guest today is Francis Beatle Boudloche. Welcome, Beatle.
Thank you.
He
Rick.
believes, like me, that God wants us to share with others the good things he's done for us. So I'm glad to have Beatle with us. And Beatle, if you don't mind, tell us a little bit about your background.
Well, I'm going to start a little bit from the beginning. And I was raised up in a Catholic family. Went to church regular. And I was young and really wasn't even involved with the mass or anything, just I had to go because of my parents, and then as I grew through life, I would seem like my life was changing, because as I grew up, I was bullied and I was treated, real bad, and at the point I just really didn't like myself. And so that led to a lot of things in my life that I'm not, proud of that I've done. I started drinking at a young age, and it seemed to me like every time I would drink, then I felt better for myself. It's all that hatred that I'd been through, and and all the bullying, and I just didn't like myself. So I grew up and then graduated from Terrebonne High School in 1966. And then I went to Nichols for about a year and a half, and then wound up volunteer to go into the military in the armed services, and just to try to go up to protect my country, and
What did you join? What part?
I was in the Army.
In the Army, okay.
Yes. And done basic training and the IT training and then airborne training, and then from there they shipped me to Vietnam. And there in Vietnam, that I don't know, it's a different world over there. It's unbelievable how people live.
Now, you were over in Vietnam for how long?
For 1 year.
1 whole year.
Yeah, March of 4th of 69 to March 4th of 70. And I spent most of my time in the field, in the jungles, and
Wow.
And like I say, very little. I didn't do much in the country because I was always out in the field. So when we first got to Vietnam, I'm gonna tell you just a couple of little things.
Okay.
Is that by the third week I wasn't there. We was bound to go into An Khe Mountains, chase some North Vietnamese, find out some positions where they're at and all, and then we set up the position that night, and about 2:00 in the morning, somebody was hallucinating and just started shooting up inside our perimeter. And I found out that the bunkhouse that we were staying in, the morning we left, the next night they blew up the building we were staying in. So, I can thank God, not how many times he could have taken me over there. I mean, I was blessed. I had a lot of good people praying for me, my mom and all my friends, and I believe prayer really brought me back, But it was pretty tough times that first combat assault. It's in the An Khe Mountains. We ran out of water. We lost I don't know how many men that heat stroke, and My best friend in front of me died, and they bring him back 3 times, and we had no water. We couldn't find none. And again, I went 115-degree weather, humping mountains, and at one time, it's something that you'd have to experience to go through. But after a while, after going seeing all this, I actually got down on my knees and prayed to God to take my life. I just couldn't go no more. And then thank God he didn't answer that. I wouldn't be blessed with it. He blessed me with now. Mm-hmm. And but anyway, I'm going to, it's a whole year going through stuff like this, and so I came back home.
Well, before that, didn't you? I was told by some other friends of ours that you got the bronze store.
Yes, I was given the bronze store.
Bronze store. Wow.
For combat duty. And like I said,
what did they give you the bronze stores for?
It's basically for being, as far as I know, it's I got the medal and the plaque that comes with it. And, but I think what it is that people that fought inside the country, that actually was in combat, fighting for our country, and I believe that's what it was. I mean, I didn't even know I was going to get it,
Okay.
But they gave it to me, and I'm proud of it, I'm proud of our country,
Gotcha. So now you're back after all of that. When did you tell me when what happened to you that started you on this faith experience?
Well, the best decision I made in my life was in 1998 when the Blessed Mother, for her last appearance, I believe number 11, in Conyers, Georgia, with Nancy Fowler, that something just kept pulling me for some reason to go, And I mean, I actually stopped going to church at one time for quite a few years, and just, my faith wasn't there. And I guess she decided that she's going to do a little number on me. But anyway, I was at Conyers, Georgia, and she was going to appear at the chapel about 11 o'clock, I think it was. And as she appeared, that everybody there was saying the rosary, and the joyful. And at that time, we were saying the rosary, when the rosary ended, and I prayed rosaries with, the families when I was a kid coming up, but I never did know that there was more than a joyful mystery, Mm-hmm. I didn't think anything of a glorious or sorrowful, just, and then right there, it started to tell me, why I'm lacking in my faith like I am, and I mean, we witnessed the sun just circling and blinking, and the doors of heaven. Mm-hmm. I got pictures of that were taken, that I took, and then
I've actually witnessed that myself, and the sun spins and your eyes don't blink, and it's just it's miraculous. It really is.
Yeah, I mean, it just, you look with naked eye. When you was watching all this stuff, I was taking pictures with a camera and didn't affect the eyes, the camera, or anything, mm-hmm. And that was one miracle that I seen over there, and of course, they had priests giving confession and giving help to people that needed help, and it was a beautiful, beautiful day that day, and they had about 200,000 people that were over there since it was our last appearance. I mean, all the way from Mexico on buses and all, So at that time, it started making me think, you know, where my faith is right now. And it's been down pretty good for a while, from a small age to I was 49 years old when I was over there. And I just knew that I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do, what God asked us to do, what His Son asked us to do. When I got back home, she
The Blessed Mother, right?
The Blessed Mother, right? She just kept bombarding me, and not so much seeing anything, but just a spirit talking to me, and just would keep telling me, sin after sin after a sin that I've been doing since I can remember 5 years old, and she kept telling me all the things that I'd done wrong in my life. And then after about 3 weeks of this, then she sort of just say Beatle, well, not Beatle, she just, I guess would say you, just, I showed you, what you've been like for that period of time. And I want to know, like I say, I want to bring you to my son because he knows what needs to be done to you. And that she couldn't forgive me for the things, that I went through, So she nurtured me for a year, to 98 to 99. And in that year, I said, I'm going to listen to you, Mother Mary. I want to follow you and your son. I want to be a part of you, and I just want to live the way I should live. And so she nurtured me in the relationship. She really, built an altar for me, actually, and I got a beautiful altar that through her and that I got set up in my house. And I would go from places all over the place, to listen to different things from her, for her son, the father, and I just had a spirit that come over me like I just wouldn't believe, in that time. But it enhanced, just at the end of that year, it enhanced even a lot more. And that's after all, saying yes, and like I say, I don't think she actually saved me. I think she saved me and my soul, because I wasn't on the right path, and she knew that I wanted to do that before I think she even asked me that. She knew what I was going to say, because she spent so much time with me.
Basically, she held your hand towards
yeah,
the sun.
oh yeah.
I mean, that's wonderful.
Yeah,
It's a great blessing.
My heart, And we have a special relationship. Later on, I'll tell some stories about her and what I went through with her, physically in locutions and stuff like that I went through with her. And but I'm just going to keep it on a little more. Okay. On this section right here is where I really, really learned my faith. And that's when she brought me to a Cajun movement, and which is a deep, learning about your faith, and it was awesome, and it's like on a Thursday to Sunday, and it was joined this. They had candidates, and they had candidates and memberships that would run it, the casino, and everybody was just filled with the Spirit, and they had people there that really, really was going through some hard times, including myself. And then what really happened to me over there learning my faith is that I don't know how to say it because I don't want to run anybody else making a casino,
I know.
But it's at one time that we had a reflection, and they had tables, and every table had about 6 or 7 people at it. And then you would take a crucifix in your hand and go before the tabernacle, and your whole table would kneel in front of the tabernacle with the cross, and of course the leader would lead off and we're going to tell Jesus exactly what we're going through in our life and what we've been through and what we want to be, mostly, being sorry for what we did in our life, And then so every person would get the crucifix and tell Jesus and talk to Jesus, and all the way from person to person to person. Then when you got to the end, they would send the cross back just in case you missed something. And then so everybody there was just pouring their heart out to Jesus Christ, And I mean, really, the bad that was coming out, that we wanted to get rid of, and we wanted to be a part of his life, his mother and the father, And so anyway, that night we had before we was going to bed, the coordinator asked if anybody had anything to say about last night, and nobody had done anything, but I felt I needed to say this, so I told the coordinator I would like to say something. So I stood up, I got in front of the tabernacle, and I was talking to Jesus just like he was there, And I said, Jesus, and when I said this, I wasn't even thinking about myself. I was thinking about all those other candidates. And I said, Jesus, that all these men over here pour their hearts out to you today, and I really would ask you to forgive them and have mercy on them for what we all done. But and when I said the word mercy, I know it's hard to understand what I'm about ready to tell you, but Jesus Christ took my heart in his hand, and he held my heart, and with his other hand he pulled a plug on the bottom of my heart. And then now I'm actually feeling this inside my body, and then I could feel my heart draining, and my heart was 3/4 inch full. I felt my whole heart, and it was 3/4 inch full, which only thing I can think of was the sins that I was holding in my heart. And I can feel the sin just draining out of my heart till it was empty. And then when it was empty, a peace came over me like I had never felt in my life. I thought the spirit in Conde George's was something, but I didn't even sleep that night, And I knew then that, you see, I never could I can go to confession and commend my sins, but I couldn't forgive myself. Mm-hmm. And Mary knew, his mother knew that was my problem was she couldn't handle it. He had to handle that. And so that's when I knew that I finally, all the times I went to confession, that the absolution of God, that I never felt forgiven. Well, that night I knew I was forgiven. And you know, like I say, if I'd have known that the Casio, you got to get in front and talk with people.
You wouldn't win.
and I was a shy person, and I told the coordinator that I wasn't, after it's over with, they have mass, on a Sunday, and the members, the candidates would get up and trying to express what they went through for that weekend, And I told them I was not going to do that and get in front of people in the church. So we all got there Sunday in the church and everything, and then coordinator asked, "Look, who would like to talk first about the experience?" And somebody that didn't want to talk and wasn't going to talk raised his hand, was the first one up there to express to the people that was out there the same thing that I just told you. How Jesus Christ was holding my heart in his hand. And I felt it. I just didn't, it was a thought, but I actually felt his hands pull the plug and drain my heart, and so, I really expressed my opinion, at the closing. And like I say, that's the best time I ever had, as far as my faith wise, that the Blessed Mother was there doing the work for her son to help people like me to find their way. And I wouldn't be here right now if it wouldn't be for the Blessed Mother. I mean, she brought me to her son to heal me. Her son healed me. And my life, it's going on 26 years now. And, right now, I still pray 3.5 hours a day, in Thanksgiving for all what they blessed me with. And this is just one thing, but there's quite a few other things that they blessed me with that maybe we'll talk with you all later,
Mm-hmm. Tell us something else right now.
Okay.
I want to hear it. After that experience, what's the next thing the Lord did for you that was special? Or the Blessed Mother?
Well, the next things, we'd have meetings, with the Casio and everything. And one time, we got together in groups and joined the meeting, and they have like 3 or 4 to talk about each other's life and all. Well, one night we talked to Father Rock Knockan's sister, and she was going through some real hard times in life, and so we let her talk the whole time. And then that was one incident with her, but I would always give her some money to help her out, and do things. And I mean, sometimes I don't even think she'd be able to get electricity in the house, but I got close to her and helped her out and everything. And this is one thing that is leading to what I'm about to tell you, is that St. Teresa, the Little Flower, was in Caring Crow over there by Lafayette, and her relics was over there. And my family came from Lafayette to spend the weekend at the house. Well, when I found out that St. Teresa, Little Flower was a Caring Crow at the ministry that they had over there, and I told all my wife and the kids to get back in the car, and went right back 100-something miles back to there, for St. Teresa, Little Flower, because, I prayed to her a lot. I prayed to a lot of saints, but, I was close to her, and she, we got there just in time when the Mass got started. So I was able to make the Mass. We went to communion. Then we stood in line, to go visit the relic, which is about before I got there, holding my grandson, which was killing me. the pain holding them up for so long, for an hour and a half. But it was worth it. We got to the casket where I believe it was her arm, and so I placed my rosary on the casket and all that, and just said a prayer to St. Teresa's little flower, and there's quite a few other things that can ball up to what I'm getting ready to tell you with St. Teresa's little flower, is that let's see when it was. It was one night at another Casio meeting that we had at St. Anne Church in Berg, and we were walking out the church, and Father Rockhand's daughter was walking right on the side of me, and we was walking out of the church. The meeting was over with, and I turned to Father Rock's sister, and as I turn around, St. Teresa's little flower appeared and spoke to me, and but only I could see is from her waist on up, but she was right behind Father Rock's sister's body, and she just turned around and she looked at me, and she said, "I won't forget what you done." I guess I'm really going to find out what I done. I'm hopefully whenever I would see her. But she just, she said, "I won't forget what you done." And that was, and I could see her just like it's, I can see Rick right now sitting across me, and so that was one experience.
So you don't even know what you did, huh?
No, not really, but I got, like I said, I prayed a lot to St. Teresa's little flower and all, and maybe that was it. And right now, I pray to her, her mama, her daddy, and all her sisters and brothers. I prayed all their names.
Yeah, all those prayers. God was able to do things with those prayers for people, and that's probably what she was thanking you for, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
Wow.
But that was one good thing, and I guess I'll give you one more. I think which, besides what Jesus done, that what Mary done to me. Now, my wife and I was at Conyers, Georgia. Not at Conyers, Georgia. I'm going backwards now. But we was at the camp doing some fishing, me and my wife and my daughter. And everybody knows, all my friends, everybody, when it comes time for me to start saying my prayers, I leave whatever I'm doing and I go say my prayers. No matter, and they all respect me for that, And but that night, it was time, we was playing cards, and it was time for me to go say my prayers. And so I went out on the porch on the swing, and I was saying my rosary. And then I guess it's like an example of it. Figure yourself like a light bulb, and all of a sudden, when you kill the switch on it, the light goes out. Well, that night when I started to say my prayers, the Spirit, the Holy Spirit that I was carrying, was just like the lightest light bulb you ever seen, And all of a sudden, it's just like somebody turns a switch off. And I didn't feel the Spirit. Just everything went away. And I actually got scared, I don't know what I did,
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I prayed to the Blessed Mother and her Son, And I prayed for her before, and saying, look, if you want me to quit drinking, just let me know. I brought maybe a 12-pack and drank a few beers while we went fishing and stuff like that. But I just asked her and her son again, it says, it's just some kind of sign that you want to tell me that you don't want me to drink anymore, And again, I'm a simple person, you know, and I just was waiting for, I don't know whether she called him a Beatle or Francis or what, but, you know, I picked it, you know, like she just looked at me and she told me this through my heart now, like usually not physically out there showing me herself, but it was through her heart, that interlocution that she was telling me, you know, that what I'd have never thought of, but she said, "How much do you love my son?" And I'm getting the chills now. But anyway, I never since that day drank alcohol again. That's about 23 years now. I never drank alcohol since, other than the precious blood, you know, that's converted to the precious body, you know. But, you know, I mean, I could have never came up with how much they love my son. So I can't hold a beer in my hand and look at that and drink it and have a good time, saying I'd rather do that than love a son. And I couldn't drink anymore. Going probably 23 years. So, you know, I mean, I still got some, but, you know, I don't know how long you want me to go. You know, it's a...
Well, that's a good for now.
Yeah.
That was some wonderful experiences to share with you. I appreciate that. And we can come on again another time and do some more.
Yeah. Be glad to. You know, again, it's just, like Rick says, if I could just touch one heart of a person that's going through a rough time like I was going through, and save them like I was saved, the Blessed Mother saving me, you know, that would be just phenomenal for me to help somebody. And I got one thing to tell later on, but and I believe I know for one that I did.
Mm-hmm.
The way.
Go ahead and sell it right now. I want to hear it. We got time.
Well, again, this. I was in Walmart talking with a friend of mine, and we were just talking about some good hunting times and all that stuff we used to have, and all of a sudden this person walks up to me, and he had a mask on his mouth, okay, but he had a hat on, and he was closed, but he had no eyes, no nose, and no ears. I mean, it was just a face, and he was talking, but I couldn't tell about a mouth. But it was just blank and black. And he came up to me, put out his hands. Of course, you know, I didn't know what to do, so I put out.
He walked up to you?
Yeah, he walked up.
With no eyes, no ears?
No, walked up to me. And he handed me his hand, and he said, "Thank you for your service." And the guy I talked to, I called him back later on and asked him if he seen that, you know, and he says, "I don't remember seeing that," you know. And but again, that's just like I'm seeing you right now. I seen him, but it was blank. But he had skin on the face,
yeah.
Okay, and you know he had a hat on, and you know he had a body with clothes on,
yeah.
But his face was empty. And
it wasn't like he was deformed; it was just clean.
Right. You know, and
like a clean formed head with a mouth with a mask, and but just no eyes and no ears.
Yeah.
Wow.
And what I think of it is that it's somebody I'm praying to, a soul in purgatory that you know needs somebody to pray to them, or that don't even have anybody to pray to them. Or I pray for a lot of people, you know, and I feel that was somebody's soul I was saving, you know, maybe not soul but body or something, I don't know, but that's another thing that happened to me, and
Your prayers were allowing God to do something for somebody that he couldn't do because he won't force himself on people.
Yeah.
But your prayers allowed him to do something special for him.
yeah.
Please pray for me in your prayers.
You are.
My family. And I'll put you in mind. People got to understand prayers are so
powerful. Very powerful.
So powerful.
Yeah.
You can't pray enough.
Well, one more thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, this is a little incident on prayer. A priest at St. Gregory was, I think it was, I don't know which one. I served 5 different priests over there to help out, But anyway, a priest wanted me to put the perpetual light behind the altar. It was on the side. So I kept putting it off. And then one day I said, finally, well, I need to do that. So I went over there to the church. I undone it from the side, and I put it behind the altar. And I was putting in the last screw on that perpetual light. And my wife came in because I wanted her to bring me something. Well, right at that instant that I finished the job, my grandson was going to Nichols. Somebody hit the back of the car and made him spin, and he flipped about 3 times in the car, and he had a little truck. And he just kept, and he said while he was flipping, he knew he was going to die, I mean, I wish you'd have seen that vehicle, And then, can you come over here and get with the state trooper? The ambulance is bringing me to the hospital, Thibodeau Hospital. And another person, a saint that I pray a lot to is St. Bridget. Mm-hmm. Okay, I pray to St. Bridget a lot. And I believe she was very involved in this. And but anyway, so me and the wife hurry up, got in the car, and we rent this by Gray over there. And we got there, the truck was on the car, and my wife got red as a beet, man. I thought she was going to pass out, man, when she seen the truck. And we didn't see Mitch yet, but he said he's going to the hospital, but he was okay. And, I mean, how somebody survived. Everybody that I know that passed that wreck said that nobody survived. Because I know a lot of people that live in Thibodeau, and said that nobody survived. And then, but what happened is that I feel I was doing something with the perpetual light, putting it where it wanted to be in church. The wreck happened where the car pulled off of the bridge and hit him and hit us back in the way he started flipping right in front of St. Bridget Cathedral right there. Mm-hmm. So I got working for God over here in St. Gregory, and my grandson wrecking right in front of St. Bridget. Tell me that it's not prayer. And I pray for my grandson every day since I think he's been born.
Was he hurt or not?
He had some minor injuries, but
minor bumps and bruises.
Minor injuries, but it's unbelievable what that vehicle looked like, and he come up because, like I said, everybody has seen that. Said that,
yes,
that nobody survived that wreck, and that really, really makes me believe how much prayer really works. Mm-hmm. Prayer is so important.
Yes, I'm gonna on a future podcast. I've had a lot of wrecks with my children. None of them were injured, and bad wrecks. I mean, it's amazing. It's all because of prayer.
Yeah,
but that's another podcast.
Yeah.
So, Francis, thank you so much for coming on the show and being here. And everybody keeps telling me to say before I get off the program, subscribe, like, and share, because you can't go to heaven unless you take somebody with you.